Today I'm here with my 2003 Volvo S40 and I will be changing out the driver's side front seat belt because mine has worn out and started shredding. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. So when you pull this out, see that right there? My seat belt has started to shred. Now this is because the person before who owned this was a rather large person, and that person wore out my seatbelt. So basically what happened was the person would have been sitting and it would have been rubbing up against the buckle like that. Now me, when I sit and I'm buckled in, that's about right there is where I'm buckled in. So that's how I kind of figure that it was a rather large person that ruined the seatbelt before I had it. And I'm not particularly small person by any means, but I'm not large either. Fairly average sized, I would say. So anyway, we're going to replace it. Now you can't just replace the seatbelt, you have to replace the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So first thing we got to do is just take off this plastic cover right here. And then, if you look right here, let's take off this plastic cover and this one as well. And then we'll be able to put it on. Once you get those plastic covers off, there's 3 bolts. There's one there at the top, one there at the bottom, and one here for the belt stuck onto the seat. So let me go ahead and get those plastic covers off, and then I'll show you guys what I did. Alright, so I've got my car taken apart now. So I'll start with this one. So you see right there, once you get that cover off, there's the bolt right there that we're going to take off. Now this cover, just you reach in there and you just pop it off. And that's all it takes, you just pop it off. The next one you take off, so this is the top one that was up here. And this is the one that was down here. So let's just back up and take a look at this. So this bottom one comes off first. And you'll notice that there's no snaps in here. It's just this edge over here and this edge over here both wrap around, and so it actually grabs onto this piece of metal right there on both sides. And so what I found we had to do was I'm going to show you. I went from the back. You have to pop this up because it goes underneath that, and then you just take the side and you pop it out, and so it's hanging on the other side. Then you come around this side and you grab it and you just pull it off. So basically it's just like a little snap around. There's no actual snaps on it, it just kind of fits around the pillar itself. And this one does have a snap. It's right there at the bottom, it's that metal one. Thank goodness it's metal because the plastic one would have broken. But it just snaps off and it pulls down. And then it's not going to come off until we get that buckle done. So now I'm going to take the right size bolts and take those off. So let's come back around here and show you. So right here's the top bolt that we're going to do. Right here's the bottom bolt. And this right here is an electrical connector to this thing. Now basically what this is just a standard retractor. You know, it's spring loaded, so it pulls it back in when you're done. But what this does here is when your airbags go off, this sends electrical charge to here, which sets off a device. Now I'm not 100% sure on what it is. I've heard it's an explosive device. I've heard it's similar to airbags, but basically think of it like a little mini airbag in here, except it retracts this way really fast. And there's a cable coming off the top of that, which is right here. And that pulls down and is connected up here to the reel. Alright. So this here is the cable that is attached to. And it goes up to the top and the reel up there. And when you're in an accident that involves the airbags, it fires this, it winds it up and basically auto tightens your seatbelt for you. So anyway, that's a little overview of it, and I will go ahead and change it out. Alright, now here's the electrical connection with controls that that airbag device connection needs to come off before it can do this stuff. Also, I noticed there's a torque screw right there that we need to take off as well. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you. Alright, so I've got the seat belt off, and there's just a bolt up here, bolt down here, that electrical connector right there, and then this end of it was in that thing right there, just holding it on there. So that's also a torque screw. So torque screw right there. That torque screw is right there, bolt there, and bolt there. And you can see it's pretty dirty. Obviously, lots of running the seatbelt in and out of the housing will cause lint and hair and whatever else to get in there. So it's pretty dirty. So I'm going to clean it out. We're going to put it back together. Another side note, I did find it easier to work on this from the back seat and just move and tilt the front seat forward. So that's what I did. Alright, so I've got the new one mounted in. I just bolted it back in with the same two big bolts and that one torque screw right there. And then I just clipped that connector back in. So I got all clipped back in like it's supposed to be. The only thing I've got next left is to connect this right there. And so while I would want to, automatically just go connect that, you have to remember you have to put that cover back on first, because it slips over this and then you bolt it on. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Alright, so I've got the new one on. I just had an idea, because you want to make sure you belt this in the right way, otherwise you can have an internally twisted seat belt, and that's really annoying, to me at least. So what I did was I went ahead and I buckled it over there, and so that way I know which direction it needs to go across my lap to secure in there properly so it's not twisted. So buckle that first, and then come over here and then put that in, and unbuckle it, and then go ahead and put the rest on. Now you'll notice, see it's kind of wavy right there? That's simply because I bought a used one, and this has been worn before. I did not buy a new one because it was nearly $300 from Volvo. I can't afford $300. I'm a poor college student. This was $100. So anyway, this should work just fine. You can see it is a little worn out as well, but it's not shredded, so it'll still work a lot better. And if this never wears out, hopefully by that time I'll either have this car gone, or I'll be able to afford new. Anyway.